When we embarked on this search, we could do something a little bit different. And quickly in our conversations with JJ, it was very evident that he had a unique perspective and philosophy on basketball and how it's to be taught. I think immediately when we sat down in Chicago at the Combine, we shared a basketball philosophy that was very similar, and it was based on high-level strategy. It was based on a certain way of communicating with players and teaching them, and probably most importantly, prioritizing player development.
You got the same responsibility. It's like half a second, bang, bang, reverse the ball moves. When you watch us play, the ball moves.
For people in the room that study this new cap system that we're now under in the NBA, there's a hard system with, first and second apron, and I could get into all the details, but at the core of that is going to be the importance of a great franchise like the Lakers modernizing and leaning into developing our young players and building that. And with players here like Max Christie and Jalen Hood-Schifino and Austin Reeves and Rui and on, it became evident that one of JJ's passions was bringing some of the incredible things he's done in basketball thinking and in basketball content to player development as we build out that. And I think that's going to be something that's really exciting for our fans to see, is how we take a new and unique approach of Lakers excellence with player development and combining that with high-level strategy and high-level attention to detail on the basketball court, with how we play, with how we're organized, how we compete, and ultimately how we win. So a very, very proud moment for us today to introduce J.J. Redick as our new head coach.
Thank you. Thank you. Rob, I appreciate it. This process has been surreal, to say the least. One of the things that kept coming up during the process with Rob, we kept talking about the word gratitude. Feeling so grateful for Rob, Jeannie, the entire Lakers organization for entrusting me in this position. And I take this responsibility very seriously. I have never coached in the NBA before. My motivations for doing this, it starts with a very simple foundation of service. I think about the greatest moments, especially towards the end of my career, was about helping players. And so it starts with the desire to serve players, to serve the Lakers organization, to serve our fans.
Also, be sure you're using a good pie server. It should be sturdy yet agile enough to neatly slide under a slice, to lift it and put it on the plate in one perfect piece.
It's also about competition and performance, collaboration, leadership. These are the things that drive me. And they will all be important as I build out my staff. As we think about the people we want to draft and get in free agency, and as we think about player development, it's all about those things. When I think about the NBA today, the game is evolving, and it's evolving fast. And one of the things in coaching that I think you have to be is adaptable. You have to be adaptable to your roster. You have to be adaptable in game planning against your opponent. And that's one of the things I really will strive to be. Lastly, I just want to say, sitting in this seat, I know what the expectations are.
Let me think of your punishment. I could suspend you for 5 days. No! Okay, then I'll make that 20. No!
Lakers fans have some of the most passionate fans around the world. And the expectation is a championship. And so it's my job, it's our staff's job, it's Rob's job, it's all of us to deliver a championship caliber team. That's what I signed up for.
Hey, JJ, Mike Trudell with the Lakers and Spectrum Sportsnet. Amongst the things you were alluding to, just your personality, the competitiveness, Rob spoke about this, that drive. As a player, did you start to think about head coaching in that context, like the closest that you can get to fueling that, finding that competitive fire, and did that drive you at all towards this Lakers position?
There were certainly coaches that I had throughout my career that would say, you're going to coach someday. Doc was probably the first one that did that. But
I've seen the trend for years.
What's the trend?
The trend is always making excuses. Doc, we get it. Taking over a team in the middle of the season is hard. It's hard. We get it. Just like getting traded in the middle of the season is hard for a player. We get it. Mm-hmm. But it's always an excuse. It's always throwing your team under the bus. They lose to Memphis. Oh, it's his players' fault. Memphis was playing G League guys and two-way guys. And then you look at his quotes over the weekend. Now he wants to take credit for the James Harden trade to the Clippers working out. He wants credit for that. There's never accountability with that guy.
it was really when I was in Dallas at the end of my career, and I was hurt for most of those 2.5 months. I didn't play a lot. Rick Carlisle and I spent a lot of time together, and he really planted the seed about coaching. Now, at the time, I knew I was going to retire. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I wanted to be able to be home for a little bit. I didn't think it was the right time. When I retired, when I retired, my performance coach and I, we talked about all the things that I loved about being a player, and it was a lot of those qualities that I just listed, and it's all part of coaching. And as I think about the culture we want to create here, part of that is just a competitive culture. Like, we want to come in every day thinking about competition.
JJ, Jim Hill, KCAL 9 News. Congratulations. You mentioned what you learned from Doc Rivers. What's the most important thing you learned from Doc that's going to help you to make an adjustment into the NBA with no previous head coaching experience?
Oh, no.
The most important thing I learned from Doc, it's interesting because I probably took something from every coach that I ever played for. And one of the things that I think he is particularly good at is creating a vision. Communicating a vision and then getting you to buy into that vision day after day. Now, those Clippers teams, we didn't reach our ultimate vision, unfortunately. He's an incredible communicator.
Welcome, JJ. Rob, good to see you. If I could ask one of you both. Rob, obviously in today's media landscape, the twists and turns of a coaching search kind of become public fodder. Can you speak on, you guys are obviously very ecstatic to have JJ in this role, but there was a pursuit of Dan Hurley before. And
Say what?
And did you put the JJ process on hold in that moment, and just how did that play out?
Yeah, happy to talk more about the entire process at another time. Today's sort of JJ's day, and I will say this, from the start, he was in our plan A pool.
Are you serious?
JJ and I had direct and sort of constant communication to keep each other in the loop with what he was going through with his previous job with the NBA Finals. And I was keeping him abreast of the search. And I think sometimes before a partnership is forged, when you can have real, honest conversations before you actually become partners, it solidifies the relationship. And I think looking back to how transparent we were with one another, even in the midst of stuff going on in the media, I think it actually solidified our confidence and belief in working together.
And JJ, to retire after a long, successful career, a lot of athletes, it's a tough transition. You were able to quickly parlay that into the successful podcast venture, obviously broadcasting the NBA Finals. With that going in your direction, like that could have been what you did the next 20 years.
Oh, no.
It's what you wanted to do in your basketball life.
I'll answer the question in a second. When the process was going on and we first met in Chicago, I was getting ready to call Game 1 of the NBA Finals when the Dan Hurley news broke, and Rob was quick to call me. We had a great conversation during that whole 4-day period. Like, at no point was my ego or feelings hurt or bruised in any way. Dan Hurley is a 2-time national champion at UConn. I am a 2-time 55 Swiss League champion in the 3rd and 4th grade division. Like, I understood, I understood.